Rousey, and I am talking Dallas Cowboy football. Now, I know I haven't done many videos about the Cowboys this year, but after this game, I just had to talk about a player. I mean, not so much about the game. I mean, the win was huge for us, big victory, and but I really just wanted to make the video talking about Demarcus Ware. I mean, last week, this guy gets carted off the field on a stretcher. And the injury was not as serious as maybe they thought it was at the onset, or they wouldn't have strapped him to the stretcher, obviously. But still yet, he was injured, and it was a serious injury to the neck. I mean, I don't think most people, me included, can appreciate how fast and how big these NFL players are. And he's coming around the end on that play, full speed, head down, and he runs into a big offensive lineman that does not budge. And you can see the neck just get all jammed in there, kind of whiplash-like fashion. And he probably got a stinger, and of course, when something like that happens, they take the precaution, they strap him to the stretcher. And I'm telling you that, especially the way the league is now, taking really cautious approach with players with concussions, and of course a neck injury, that's huge too, because if you got an injured neck and it's weak and all that movement that goes on in an NFL game, you know, you could break a neck and be paralyzed. So players, the league, the teams are taking a very cautious approach when it comes to players playing. So I was really surprised that he played this week, and that he did play, I think, speaks volumes about the man and his character. And he said going into this week in the interviews or whatever, he said, I'm going to leave this up to the doctors. If the doctor says I can't play, then I'm not going to play. I'm not going to risk my future with my family. And who can blame a man for that? I mean, no matter how much money they get paid, they don't get paid enough to be in a wheelchair for the rest of their lives if they get injured on a football field. So, you know, he was realistic, and I just liked the approach that he had to it. He said, if they say I can't play, I'm not going to play. But at the same time, he did everything that he could to play. He went through the treatment. He was talking about all this kind of treatment that he received during the week. And he got out there, and he felt like he was able to make a go of it, and he went out and played. And the fact that he played was just huge for this team. And if you watch the interview after the game, he talked about it was a game-time decision for him whether or not he was going to play. And he said in the locker room to the guys, I'm going to play. And he said that the eyes lit up. Because I'm telling you, if you've ever played team sports and you got one of your hosses that can't play, well, you're just demoralized, man, because you're playing a great team and you need everybody on board, especially a stud like Demarcus Ware. And the fact that he even gave it a go lifted this team up. You could tell it from the comments that he made. And not only that, he goes out there and has 2 sacks and 2 forced fumbles, 2 huge plays. And I'm watching this game and how it's unfolding. I'm feeling good through 3 quarters, and then the Saints start making that comeback. And it's just going through my head. Oh, we're going to do like we do all the time in December. We're just going to lose. We're a bunch of losers. We're going to lose. But then somebody like Demarcus Ware steps up and makes a play when you need a play to be made. And that is what leaders do. And you know, I don't hear a lot spoken about Demarcus Ware as far as being a vocal leader. But leaders do not always have to get out there and rah-rah and lead the cheer and all this stuff before the game and get everybody pumped up. Leaders lead by example, and the fact that he went out there and played the game, and not only played it, played big, speaks volume for him as a person and as a leader. And another thing I say about DeMarcus is when he's getting carted off that field, I'm sure the doctors are saying, keep your hands still. I could see him say, hey man, be still. Just keep your hands to your side. Don't move. Because when you got a neck injury, you don't want to move because you got you know, if something's broken there and you got the nerves, you could easily fray him or whatever. But he cared about his family and he cared about the fans enough to say, hey, I'm hurt. He waves the hands and he wiggles the feet, man, to say, hey, guys, I'm hurt, but I'm not paralyzed. And that just, I don't know, to me that shows the guy cares about his fans and his family. He wants to put them at ease. And I just thought that was a good thing that he did. And just a great player, making great plays in a big game. And, you know, it's getting Christmas time. And I told my wife this morning, you know, she asked me, well, you know, what do you want for Christmas? I don't really, typically, you know, old man, 44 years old, I don't really care about getting gifts. But I told her, you know, if you've got to buy me a gift, go down to the Cowboys shop and buy me a jersey with number 94 on it. Because I will wear that with pride, man. That man pumped up his team, and he is a leader, and I'm telling you, a big, big part of this Dallas Cowboy football team, and he is a winner. And the other guy I want to talk about is a coach, Joe Decamillus. He was injured, as most of us know. He was injured in an incident prior to the season starting in that dome practice facility that the Cowboys had. And the roof collapses and he gets hit and he breaks his neck. And I'm telling you, most people in that situation don't coach the year going forward. But he's not only coached, he's made a big difference. And he started coaching, I mean, real quick after it happened. I mean, whatever the surgery they did, and he was back going real quick. And I feel bad for him because obviously he's affected for his life based on this incident. I mean, you can tell he doesn't have the mobility in the neck, but he's out there and he's leading his team and he's making a big difference. And I don't think that can be understated. And the thing that really got me is Romo, after the game, they were interviewing him, and Romo referred to Decamillus playing a video of Tony Dungy saying that the Cowboys didn't have a chance against the Saints. And I'm telling you, as a football coach, especially when you have a team that's lost 2 in a row, they're going into December, everybody's saying you're going to fail, you're going to fail. A lot of the fans here, you know, included. You got to do something to motivate your team. And obviously, he picked something that stirred the troops up and got them fired up for this game because they went out and played like they belonged and they believed that they could win the game. And I think this guy, Decamillus, has done a great job, and I think he's a great leader, and I'm glad to have him on our team. But Demarcus Ware, and there's a lot of guys out there. Tony Romo also did a great job. I was just proud of him. And I'm just proud to be a Cowboy fan today. So, way to go, Cowboys! Hopefully we can finish up strong and get some wins in playoffs. But for now, that's all. This is Renegade. I'm out.